Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Aquarius placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Aquarius, I'm getting this message for you. I'm just going to read what I wrote. So it says, someone tried to cut you down, but they failed. And they know that they failed and are being confronted with that truth right now. This is not about retribution. You can just sit back and relax and watch it unfold. So I feel like if this message is for you, like this will have already happened. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. This has already happened. And it says here, you didn't come out of this unscathed, but you will rise again. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I feel like there was some sort of like negative consequence that occurred because of this situation or unfolding. I do think in some ways it was for your benefit, but it may not feel like that at the moment. But you are in the aftermath of whatever the situation is. I am getting a Six of Wands energy for you, but it may not feel like that at the moment. And part of that includes like shattering of misperceptions. Like I am kind of seeing like a bit of like a like I'm getting words like shrapnel or like debris. Like I'm seeing like a debris field. That's sort of how it's coming through. So in a sense, the like, I don't know, the event has already occurred, but now it's like you're in the aftermath, which is a whole other thing, which includes like cleanup and repairing and salvaging what you can. So there is kind of that energy where it's like you didn't come out of this unscathed. There is some sort of consequence that now you're having to like clean up or repair or recover from. But the message that's coming through here is that you have a very strong support system, and that this support system was able to cushion the impact of whatever this was for you. So only take that if it resonates for you, Aquarius. I'm going to pull cards and get more messages about what this could be for you. Again, it does feel like it has already happened if this message is for you. If this is not your energy, then it's not your reading. Okay, Aquarius. I am getting a bit of like a tower energy. The one that I'm seeing in my mind's eye is the Muse Tarot, which has this sort of like electric lightning kind of, like all the tower cards, most of them have lightning, but this one's more like associated with a person or like a presence that sort of like comes in and almost creates like an impact, a really big impact. I don't know what that is for you exactly. I keep getting like field of influence. So it could be that there's like this person has a very big influence on your energy in some way. I do feel like though there was something about like if this is another person, like their misperceptions about you that were false, that caused a lot of damage in some way. Like it could be something like that. Like, for example, like maybe they like spread rumors, right? Like that is a way for someone to try and cut you down. And it's kind of, so maybe it had a really negative impact on like your reputation or like, you know, what people thought of you, especially if it's like within a group or something like that. And of course, these were negative rumors that were false in an attempt to cut you down. Is just it keeps coming through like that. And so the aftermath now becomes having to repair those false perceptions. Because it's not just about, like, saying that that's not true, right? Like, because I feel like there's something here where, especially if it's, like, within a group, like, maybe people did believe that about you, and maybe there were things that, like, there's something here about, like, the power of suggestion and how sometimes when we are in a vulnerable state, or if we're unsure or uncertain about something, our insecurities can sort of fill in the gap. So it's kind of like maybe there was something where someone spread a rumor about you and it touched on insecurities that other people might have had, right? I'm trying to think of an example, Aquarius. Like, I don't even want to get into examples of it. It'll be specific for each of you, but it's kind of like the rumors became more believable because they touched on insecurities that other people had. And so people interacted with you through this filter that they had. It's like the power of suggestion, right? It made that false belief seem more plausible because it touched on people's insecurities. I don't know how or it, like, specific examples. Hopefully that makes sense. So the work now becomes, like, not only, like, disproving those false misperceptions, but also I feel like there's going to be something here, Aquarius, where you start to see people's insecurities and how those played a part in whatever it was that went down. Is just how it's coming through. Like, other people's insecurities are going to make themselves known to you, and how that perpetuated a certain rumor or whatever belief about you or something like that. Very interesting. Okay, let's get a card for Aquarius. So I do feel like there's going to be a period of time where, like, yeah, the Raven's head. A period of time where things are going to come to light, and then you have oil of vitriol at the bottom of the deck, which is very interesting imagery with these two. And then you have alchemical wedding at the bottom of the deck. So the oil of vitriol talks about resentment, anger, and the purification process that results from that. Purification process that results from anger and resentment. Someone lashing out, maybe. Okay, the Raven's head. Initiation, the ordeal, the work begins. It arrives to mark the beginning of the work. This card indicates something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The Raven's work cannot be undone, just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to sand. You may be overwhelmed or think that the journey ahead is not for you. Your doubts matter not to the Raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. You are ready, and the moment is now. Can you go back to the way things were? Can you pretend nothing has changed? The Raven caws a clear no. It does not apologize, as it knows your destiny is great. Okay. I feel like there is something here where you're being called to rise to the occasion, Aquarius. I feel like maybe there were some setbacks, or just like delays in getting you to a certain place. Or maybe you were dealing with some things that needed to be cleared out, or maybe you were dealing with some insecurities or something like that. It feels like in relation to certain relationship dynamics or your position within those things, or like a certain role that you need to play, but that maybe you were feeling doubts about. You are being called. I feel like there is something here where I'm getting this message about, I feel like maybe you took a step back or removed yourself temporarily, maybe from something that you know you were meant to do, but maybe there were fears that were holding you back, or maybe there were again, insecurities or fears really coming through that were holding you back. So you took a step back from it, is kind of how it's coming through, even though there was a strong part of you that knew that this was part of your destiny or something that you were meant to do, or like part of your path, or whatever phrase you want to put there. But it's like, and I feel like there was something here where maybe that was also part of your path of like having to clear out any of those fears or things like that. And it's like now you are being called to step back in. Like it's kind of feeling like an opportunity to fill a role is actually how it's coming through. And I feel like though there's something here about like somebody else in the environment who has a bit of anger or resentment towards this. Again, it feels like someone who tried to cut you down. And I feel like for you, Aquarius, like you all already know who or what this is referring to. I do feel like in a sense there has been already like confrontation is the word that's coming through with that. It does feel like it's over though, in a sense, right? Because I am saying that you're in the aftermath, but it's kind of like the aftermath is is a whole new phase of whatever this is. It's the cleanup, it's the repair. That's how it's feeling. The spider came out in the Virgo reading as well, so you may want to watch that one. This one talks about your life's purpose and your work, right? It does feel very purposeful, whatever it is that you're being called to fill, like this position or a role. So it doesn't have to literally be like work related, though it could be for some of you. It feels kind of like something that you were always meant to do, whatever that is. But today it is feeling very much like work related with this. Or a certain role that you were meant to play. It just keeps wanting to come through like that. Like I'm getting strong 8 of Pentacles energy with this. I do think you're going to be busy with something. Like it's kind of like you are the best equipped to fulfill this role or this opportunity. It's like this is your time to shine. I do think that there would be someone who's not happy about that, but that's kind of like not your problem. It's just wanting to be in your awareness. So you have wheel and flute. indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly, disappointment in a friend or lover, and then you have March. Okay, so it is, okay, this is this energy from the past is kind of how it's coming through, where like maybe you were allowing your life to sort of just go in whatever direction. Like it's kind of like taking a step back from something. It's just what I keep seeing. Like, and maybe it had something to do with a friend or a lover, like somebody who's close to you. Like, okay, I've been watching this show called 911. It's about firefighters and first responders. And there's this one firefighter. He's a single father. He has a son. And part of his storyline is like he takes a step back from firefighting because his son and like starts having sort of like fear and nightmares about like losing his father because he lost the mother a couple years ago or whatever. And so he takes a step back from firefighting, even though that's his passion and his like his purpose and like definitely where he's meant to be, and it like is a fulfilling part of his life. So he takes a step back from it in order to like soothe his son's fears. But then it comes to a point where he's like at this desk job and he's miserable. He's not sleeping. He's like even worse off than he was before. And then there's this opportunity, I'm putting in quotation marks, but this situation where the call center where he's working catches fire, and of course his old squad comes in and to rescue and to put out the fire, and he's there. And so it's kind of like, it's like the universe showing him that this is where he's supposed to be. Like he's supposed to be a firefighter. He's supposed to be with this team. He's fulfilling his role and his purpose. That's what this message is coming through with, where it's like maybe in the past, Aquarius, you made a choice to step back from something or to like remove yourself from a role that you know you're meant to be in order to satisfy somebody else's fears. Like that's how it's coming through with this. And that's not a judgment at all. Like I do think it was necessary, like that sort of energy of like taking a step back, gaining a different perspective is necessary. But I do feel like there is this opportunity now for you to like step back in maybe to a role that you know that you are meant to be in, and that you can't go back from this, right? It's kind of like this is the call. You have fair woman. Dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So there may be a fair woman who's involved in this in some way. I was trying to get a clarifier about the spider. Interesting. So there may be somebody in your web of connections is how it's coming through, who's going to have a significant impact for you in this area in your life, or who will like maybe someone you work with who's going to like call on you to do something. But let's get a card for the external environment for you, Aquarius. Winter. Can I get one more? Okay, that's too many. And sulfur, interesting. You have Earth's Heart and Resin at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so Sulfur is a card about, like, it's healing. It's also a bit uncomfortable because even though it's healing, it's, part of it can be uncomfortable or gross is the word that comes through with this card. Like, it's beautiful, but also unpleasant. It's healing, but it also hurts. Like, it's a both and kind of energy. And with the Winter card, let's see what this one says. Solace, the Pause, the Hermit. Regardless of when this card appears, it indicates we are suspended in Mother Earth's pause. Okay. I feel like there's an energy outside of you that is in a pause. Like, so it could be that they're in a hanged man situation, or it could be that there's a bit of like a pause in their energy, or that they've been in that state for a long time, especially with the Winter. But I'm seeing like part of your role in this might be to change that for them. Okay, what I'm getting with this metaphor has come through before, but it's kind of like, and if you live like downtown, for example, in the winter time, right? Like, there are all these snowbanks that pile up, and when it starts to get warmer in springtime, all of these snowbanks start to melt, and then you start to see like all these like cigarette butts and all this trash that's been left on the street and all this debris. Like, that's what I'm seeing for this external energy. So it's kind of like the snowbanks are melting, right, with the Winter card, which is a positive thing, right? Because it feels like people around you are moving out of stagnation is how it's coming through, or out of this period of like stillness or pause. But in that process, it's like you're seeing all of the debris that had gotten stuck in that position with them. So it's like all these like past energies are like coming out again. And it could be things where it's like, what I'm getting with this is that sometimes the Winter card comes through this feeling of like, or ice or snow, that kind of like cold energy is coming through as being like things that were like harmful from the past, but that weren't quite ready to be healed yet. Like, so for example, like after you've been through a heartbreak or whatever, like we aren't always ready to dive into that healing immediately. Sometimes we have to put it in sort of like a suspended state where we don't touch it, we don't think about it, we put it aside, we do carry on with other parts of our lives until we're ready to go back and revisit that pain. And so that's how it's coming through for you today, where it's like you may be seeing people, and this could be an aspect of yourself as well, Aquarius, where maybe you're revisiting something painful from the past, or that you're seeing other people revisit past pains. Like, it's like the snowbanks have melted and like they're seeing all of the debris that was left behind from a previous wound, and it's like having to clear that. And it is beneficial here with the Sulfur card. It is healing, but that doesn't mean it's not uncomfortable, or that there's something unpleasant about it. But I feel like there's something here where it's like this is part of how you can help, Aquarius, because it's like part of your purpose is to like fight fires, right? Like whatever that is, it's like you have the ability to help clean or whatever. Like, it's like, you know, that feels kind of not quite the right way of phrasing it, but I hope it is coming through. Okay, can I get an animal card for the external energy? Okay, that's a lot. I'm gonna put those back because they all just sort of flipped out. Hawk was one of the cards. Okay, energy for the external energy. Card for the external energy. Tiger. Okay, this is a divine feminine energy, and it talks about being comfortable in the uncomfortable, in the darkness. You have B at the bottom of the deck. This tiger card is actually coming through as kind of like an awakening for someone. Like someone's divine feminine energy is awakening. I feel like there's also something here about it feels kind of like someone is letting you see into their pain is how this is feeling. Because the tiger can be very territorial, right? Like protects your boundaries and all of that. So I am getting that kind of energy, like someone who has very strong boundaries. I feel like who is protecting their pain in some way, but I am kind of getting that this is like you're seeing an aspect of them that maybe you haven't seen before. Like maybe you're seeing this person's pain, or you're seeing what they have had to carry is actually how it's coming through. You're being put in a situation, it feels like, where you have the opportunity to see what this person has been carrying. I feel like this person is perhaps allowing you to see this, but I think that there's also something of like they also need your assistance in some way. I feel like maybe they've been in a place where they've been stagnant in some way with the Winter card, like something has come to a pause, or they're in this period of stillness, or that they have it's like now time for them to start healing something that has been in a state of pause for them. But there is pain associated with this. I do think they are letting you in, but that it may be a bit uncomfortable. I do think that but with the tiger, it's like, I do think that they're ready to do this, to face the discomfort, whatever that is. But like I am getting something of like this person is ready to heal something. Yeah, eagle. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. This person is ready to heal something. Broken ring. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. They may be going through some sort of separation. Older woman. Dealing a relationship with an older woman. Success and bow. You are highly thought of. Okay, interesting. Then you have sorrow over a loss at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so it seems like this person is going through a separation of some sort. I do think that they think very highly of you. And it has something to do with their success, or perhaps like relationships with older women, for example. I do think this person is healing something. From the past. It does feel like past energy that they're healing, but that they may be currently in a situation that reminds them of the past. So it's, even though it's like they're healing past energies, it's like their current situation is mirroring that in some way, or reflecting that. We are in a retrograde at the time that I'm filming this, so it could be like something from the past is coming back around, or if it's not exactly that past thing, it's like an echo of that in a different circumstance, a similar pattern that needs to be healed. I do think that they are doing that successfully with the ego, like triumph over trouble and obstacles. That talks to me about success, and that part of that success or part of that healing involves breaking some sort of commitment that they had to something. Or like with the broken ring, I see this as being sort of like, it could be karmic energies that were keeping them stuck in a commitment that they had no interest in continuing, like that kind of thing. Or stuck in a cycle as well. It's like breaking the cycle that was keeping them stuck. It feels very positive. I do think you are helping them in this way. I'm not sure how yet, but let's get some tarot cards. Okay, they want two separate tarot cards. So for you, Aquarius, I'm gonna pull cards from the Dreaming Way Tarot. Four of Swords for you. I am getting this sort of energy of pulling back. Four of Swords talks about integrating, and you have Nine of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Okay, there's something about independence here for you, where, or like, especially with this Five of Cups, which is interesting. Sometimes this card talks to me about like, not sharing your true feelings with the people closest to you. Like, because it's kind of coming through with like, I don't know, withdrawing, going inward, but like focusing on yourself or those closest to you. But for what purpose though? Because I kind of feel like there's this message here about like Queen of Pentacles, like taking care of the people that you love. That's how it's feeling. Or taking care of yourself maybe. Or there's this feeling of like in that example of the firefighter on the TV show where he like removes himself from his team in order to tend to his son, right? Like it feels kind of like removing a layer of the relationships around you, like, but going in one layer of intimacy deeper. Like that's how it's feeling. Where it like removing yourself from friends or removing yourself from work in order to tend to your family. That's how it's feeling. Or whatever it is for you. It could just be like yourself if it's not family related. Knight of Swords. But then I feel like there's this message or opportunity coming in. Death. Yeah. Change. Some sort of change is happening for you, Aquarius. And again, it's like something where it's like you can't go back. Maybe this is something that you've been delaying. Ace of Wands. Inspiration. Your passion is kind of how it's coming through. 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like here it's kind of like I'm getting really strongly this energy of like someone who like turned away a job opportunity or whatever it is because like family or you know, whatever it is, your closest relationships, it would cause those people to suffer, or like there was fear or insecurities in that relationship or dynamic. So it's like, Aquarius, maybe you took a step back and like try to regroup or like try to find a solution. But I feel like for you now, the message that's coming in is like you can no longer ignore this. This is part of your path. I feel like it's also this energy of like inspiration, passion, renewed energy, some sort of creative project or process that you're being asked to engage in. And that would be very fulfilling for you, especially with this 9 of Wands. And then you have 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like, the 9 of Wands talks about resilience, right? The wounded warrior. But to me, it also, like, especially from this deck, looks a bit more like someone who is just tired and needs some new inspiration or something like that. Like someone who's become just, like, bogged down by the bogged down by draining things, like things that don't give you energy, things that don't excite you, like that kind of thing. Okay, can we get cards for whatever this external energy is? The Tower. First card for them is the Tower. Okay, it feels like somebody, yeah, this is this energy of like, okay, maybe you're in a place, Aquarius, where like I just keep thinking of this firefighter in the show, fictional, of course, where he takes a desk job at the call center, the 911 call center, and then the call center catches fire, right? There's a fire within the call center. So it's kind of like in the right place at the right time, but not in the right role for you, Aquarius. It's like you're in the right place, you're in the right time in the situation, but it's kind of like this opportunity is now showing you what your proper role is, if that makes sense. Where I feel like it's like to fight fire, whatever that is. But that you weren't in that position at the time. I feel like this is something where it's like, this is also coming through as like the aftermath, right? Like, you're in the right position, but you're in the right place, but not the right position. The aftermath is showing you what the right position is for you. What the right role is for you. It's the universe showing you where you're meant to be, or what you're meant to be, or what role you're meant to be in. Yeah, Ace Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. Yeah, a new beginning for sure. So you have 3 aces so far. Like it is coming through with like truth and clarity. I feel like this is also a new beginning for this other person as well. Or there's like clarity about you. Clarity about you is what's coming through with that. The moon. Interesting. Illusions, fears, and insecurities are what we're coming through with that. And you have 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, interesting. I feel like this other person, whoever they are going through like they're breaking down certain illusions that they might have had about this new beginning. It feels very positive. I do feel like they do think very highly of you, but there might have been something that was preventing them from seeing that. Like their own, yeah, 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. It kind of just feels like someone who's like overwhelmed with something, like having to balance a lot of things. So it's kind of like they can't necessarily focus on you, or like they weren't seeing you clearly or something like that because they've been dealing with other things, or like struggling to balance something. But it's like there is a new beginning. I do think they are becoming more clear about you, or about this new beginning with you. Queen of Swords, yeah. Discernment. Yeah, I do think they are seeing something more clearly now. I don't think they were seeing you clearly before. There was a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation that is being shattered. You have Death again at the bottom of the deck. Was this the person who tried to cut you down? No. Okay. This was not the person who was trying to cut you down, which is good news. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Because Queen of Swords can, in the shadow, be that. But I feel like this is someone who is wanting to work with you. I love this 3 of Pentacles. It gives me more of a 10 of Pentacles vibe, this one. Like, knowing that you have people that you can depend on, and who can depend on you, and who support you, and want to work with you, and all of this. Maybe that was part of it. Like, it's kind of like someone who maybe didn't believe that people would support them, or like something like that. And it's like you're helping them or showing them that they do have that support. The 4 of Swords, I do think that they're like integrating some sort of new truth about this situation or this dynamic. And you have 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's just something here, like this feels like a very positive dynamic, but I feel like there might have been misunderstandings or miscommunication, especially with Mercury retrograde, or like almost like illusions and insecurities that were preventing you from seeing each other properly is how it's coming through. Like you weren't seeing eye to eye in the past because of each other's insecurities and illusions, but I feel like that's what's being shattered. So there's something here where it's like misperceptions, I want to say, about the other are being shattered so that you can come together on something. There is a new beginning. And I feel like you, even Aquarius, might have taken a step back. I feel like that was the right call. Interesting. I'm going to pull one more card from the Animal Apothecary deck. Surrender to receive. The Otter. Otter teaches us about the feminine power of reception through surrender. In the sea, Otter is often floating on her back, stomach open to the sky, receiving the sun. This is an extremely vulnerable position. To be free from worry and not distracted by what may lurk in the dark waters below is a liberated state of being. The medicine of this card directly asks you to be patient, accept uncertainty, fully trusting that you will be taken care of no matter what. Be wary of the mind chatter insisting that you need to know the outcome now. Universal law does not resonate with the ego's desperate need for instant gratification. Something is waiting to be received, but it can only be accepted if you open and allow it. When you are open to receiving, you become a magnet for that which you seek. Otter's power in the sea is her sensual flexibility. She bends and yields with the currents. Allow the moment to unfold without forcing it into the box of limited human perception. Otter swims in the dark, mysterious sea of the unknown. It is here that she receives all her nourishment. Otter's medicine is to surrender and swim with the current of uncertainty and receive something far greater than your immediate and limited desires. Okay, Aquarius. I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.